Assalamu alaikum. This is video 4. Okay. Now, so the death of now the death of Prince. We're going to fast forward this to the death of Prince Rogers, Mr. 1999. Okay, the death of Mr. Prince Rogers, 1999 Nelson, marked the end of the pregnancy. Okay, so Prince marked the end of the pregnancy, but not even knowing. He was innocently just following his consciousness, his gift, his talents, right? His very profound talent. But Prince was also a very gifted individual, born in 1958. Jupiter in his natal chart, Jupiter in Libra, or Jupiter in Libra. Saturn in Sagittarius, Uranus in Leo. So he had a very profound, power. He had a lot of power with his natal chart, and his natal chart represented a lot of power. So if you want to find out what your power is, you need to know what your natal chart looks like, what your natal chart reflects, because you're composed of celestial energy as it is reflected in your natal chart. So to see who you are, what your gifts are, what your talents are, look at your natal chart. So you need to, when I post those astrologists who read the celestial energy, because that's what they're basically what they basically do. The astrologers, they interpret the celestial energy and the potential of the celestial energy. Okay, so when I post those videos of astrologers such as the Leo King, Kelly Rosano, Barbara Goldberg, and various others, okay, you should really start listening to it and maybe contacting them to see what your natal chart looks like. And they're not to they don't forecast the future, because only Allah can, only Allah knows what the future is. But you need to know the energy that you're comprised of, how your energy was composed, because certain energies have certain characteristics. So, your dominant sun sign, it may be a Virgo or Pisces or Sagittarius, but there are other energy influences there that you need to know about, and those certain energies carry characteristics and certain abilities. So that's how you find out who you are and what you are. So take a look at those, maybe get in contact with those astrologers. Look deeper into astrology, not so much as to worship it, because in Islam it says, adore the sun and the moon, but adore the celestial creation, but worship Allah. The planets are not gods. They're created by Allah. Okay? So you can interpret the energy. Certain planets have different intensities. Certain planets are softer energies, like electromagnetic. Some, like Uranus, is just electric, right? So that's a lot of power there. So if your planetary alignment has a lot of Uranus in it, then that means you're going to have a lot of electrical energy, and many times if you touch something, you're going to get shocked. But it also means you have the ability to really, really concentrate strong and make things happen. So manifest things. So look at your natal chart. That's how you find out who you are and what your talents are. That's how alhamdulillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I was able, to interpret my own natal chart, to know, who I am, and start acting and being able to conduct myself in my dignity, in my integrity, in harmony with my celestial energy, okay, as it relates to, my physical composition, okay? So that's what you need to do. As I said, I'm not advocating the worship of stars and planets and celestial bodies. No, but I am advocating get in touch and know what you're comprised of as it relates to celestial energy, so you'll know your power, and so that those invisible spirits, Okay, and those who practice, wicketry, such as it's stated the Trump does. It's stated he does. The Vatican definitely does. And they steal people's power. That's why they collect those birth certificates so they can know what time you were born, because timing of the time you were born means a lot. The month you were born means a lot, because the month represents a planet. The day represents a planet. The time represents a planet. So all of that has significance, okay, as it relates to celestial or planetary alignments. So to know who you are, you need to know that. Okay, so get in touch with, you can be acting in unison or in harmony with your celestial body. Okay, and they generally look for people with strong celestial bodies so that they can usurp their energy. Okay, so get in touch with who you are. Now, anyway, so the death of Prince had a very strong celestial body. That's why he was so powerful, so magnetic in his craft. You know, he was powerful. He was genius because he had a genius. He had geniusness in his natal chart, as does the King of Kings, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, Prince, and myself, mashallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we all have very, very similar, okay, almost identical natal charts, okay. The King of Kings, Michael Joseph Jackson, the Queen of Queens, myself, and Prince would be the Prince of Princes, the Prince of Princes. That's why Prince played a lot. Prince was like but he started to get serious toward the end of, the time he spent here, okay? But he was very playful, very, very playful, okay? In his early years of his artistry, okay? But Michael Jackson, very conservative, exceedingly conservative, and very focused on his gifts and his humanity, caring for the family, caring for the children as fathers do, because it was innate to him. It's part of his natal chart as to who he was born to be, and that is the father. He is the father. You can't take it away. The father of humanity. You can't give his title King of Pop to Justin Bieber. Who the fuck is Justin Bieber? Who in the fuck is him to be trying to steal that? You don't try to steal James Brown's title. What? The Godfather of Soul? You don't try to do that shit. Okay? But yet to Michael, you want to try to usurp his title, the King of Pop. And try to put that on a Bieber. What the fuck is a Bieber? Again, what the fuck is a Bieber? Nothing. He's nothing but what? He ain't gonna go down in history. He ain't got no fucking legacy. Okay? He's a fad. And as soon as he get about 20-something, 30-something, he gonna go by the wayside as well. He don't have no legacy like Michael Jackson. So stop that shit. Trying to usurp his crown and give it to anybody, but you recognize it as his. That's his fucking title, the King of Pop. Because he's a king. Okay? And that's for all the stupid bitches out there who try to do that. Okay? And Bieber, if you hear this, you are not the King of Pop. Okay? And if you try to title yourself that, you're a piece of shit. As far as I'm concerned. Okay? Always trying to steal a black person's title. So now if you try to rip them off through the music industry, they're going to try to steal his title. Who's going to be the king? Who's going to be the Godfather of Soul? Enough of that fucking shit. Always trying to steal something. The black nobility. Ain't no goddamn black nobility but the black people. And those who descend from the roots. You fucking blue bloods ain't no black nobility. Yeah, and if I get pissed off about this shit because it's stupid and it's corrupting the world, oppressing humanity, stifling consciousness, all of this fucking crap. Bieber, the King of Pop. That's a joke. That's a joke worthy of pissing on. Worthy of shitting on. King of Pop. Go to fucking hell with that. Anyway, so the death of Prince Rogers Nelson marked the end of the pregnancy. Okay, his song, 1999. So the death of Prince the death of Prince, okay, laced in royal purple with the 1979 and potential threat of the pregnancy. No, I got to get that together. Where are we at? Okay, I'll do that again. So, yeah, as I said, Prince marked his song 1999, plus his NATO chart, plus his song Purple Rain, Purple, okay, marking him, all of that marking him as royalty, celestial royalty, okay. His death marked the 1979 and the birth of the prince that is to come, the Prince of Peace, right? The prophet born of a virgin, right? That is stated to, according to biblical prophecy, that is supposed to come 7 years after the sign of Revelation 12:12, to which I, alhamdulillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, represent. I don't give a fuck if you think I don't. I really don't give a fuck. But guess what? I know I do. And I will say, again, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, Kulu Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulid wa lam yakun lahu. And that is to say, Allah is one, He begets not, nor does He begot. And I also say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, Kulu A'udhu rabbil nas, maliki nas, ilahi nas, min shari waswasikin nas, alladhi waswasu fi suduri nas, min al-jannati wan nas. And that's for Allah to protect me against the jinn and all those who worship the jinn. Okay? Now, and I will continue what I was going to say, and that is, alhamdulillah, I am that woman that represents Revelations 12:12. I don't need your validation. The celestial sphere and my natal chart and my mother and all of my being represents that. Okay? And I will just say to you, those who don't believe it, I don't give a fuck. It's not up. I don't need you to believe it. Because if you told me that's who I was and I didn't know, I wouldn't believe you. But I believe Allah because He has demonstrated that to me. Just, okay? Now, and just like He teaches me all this that I deliver to you, okay? Because I'm here to instruct you to follow the legacy of Prophet the King of Kings, Michael Joseph Jackson. Follow that legacy. All that he told you to do: heal the world, save the children, no black and white, end racism. I'm here to tell you to follow that legacy. That's what I'm here to do. Tell you to follow that legacy because He's the closest one to Allah on this earth. Okay, at that legacy is the closest one to Allah on earth. He was, when He was before He transcended, okay, He was the one closest to Allah. Okay, and that's where I was going. And so following His legacy will lead you to the prophet, because it said before the prophet born of a virgin is to come, Michael, the angel Michael, was to appear. Michael Joseph Jackson, okay? And again, I don't like to say the person is not existing anymore when Allah tells me martyrs exist. And if he was sacrificed, he's a martyr, right? Just like Tupac. So I say he's still alive. So therefore, following his legacy will get you to the prophet. That's why he was born. Michael Joseph Jackson is an angel. That man, okay, the King of Kings is an angel. Okay, sent to this world, a human angel. Okay, so you're lying on him about molesting children, fucking children with cancer. I mean, think about it. Fucking, this is what they said. This is how stupid they think you are, humanity. To tell you that a man who donated all the proceeds from many of his concerts stopped half the world from starving from the year 1990, all the 1990s. Okay? Stopped half the world from dying. Gonna tell you he fucked a boy with cancer. He fucked a boy with cancer. Despite it was not proven, there's still idiots who go around talking about this shit. And I just talk about it because I find it utterly ridiculous. But these are the same people who told you that the planes The planes melted molten steel, jet fuel melted molten steel, and they just not vanished, but there's another word that they just they basically not dissipated. They I forget what they call it. But the planes basically vanished into thin air. Nothing, no particles of them left. And they laugh at you when they tell you this stupid shit. Just like they name things like the underwear bomber. And then when the Uma, and that means humanity of the family tree, constantly repeats that stuff, the underwear bomber, they laugh. They laugh just so they can see how stupid you are. So they tell you the King of Kings, who gives all his money, basically, proceeds from many of his concerts, goes visit orphanages, does his best not to even leave the dead unrecognized. Okay, cares about all life in the environment, and they tell you, oh, he molested a little boy with cancer, and you people actually believe that. How stupid can people be at times when they want to believe something out of jealousy? Because they could not stand to see a black man in that, capacity of divinity. They couldn't see that. That was too much for them. Too fucking much, so they wanted to kill it. They had to kill it. They had to kill it. Okay? And that is why I follow his legacy. That is why the Green Ark is dedicated to following the legacy. Because I pick up that banner, I pick up that torch, and I carry it because it's a torch of divinity. Okay? And I will, alhamdulillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will never put it down. I will, every time, in everything in my life, I will share it with the King of Kings. Okay? Because again, he saved my life. He saved my life, literally saved my life. Just like he saved half the world. Just like he saved that little boy by helping him get a liver. Okay? And then these pieces of Zionist shit gonna do that to him. Okay? So that's why I always remember him. Share my birthday with him. Share my children love him. My family loves the Jacksons. My Mau Mau babies love the Jackson children. They love their strength. They love their, their clean lifestyle, their pure life, their holistic lifestyle. I have a Mau Mau baby, Yasmin Sky. She writes fan mail to Paris Jackson because she likes her strength. She likes her style. She likes her intelligence. She likes her, as I said, her strength, and her devotion to her father, So that's inspiration to her, and I support it. 100%. I support it, So that Paris Jackson is Yasmin Sky's role model. And she's beautiful as well. And she does her own fashion. And Yasmin has already started to design fashion because Paris designs fashion. Because Paris is a model. Because Paris, studied hard. And she does her work, and Yasmin does her work in school hard because Paris encourages, those, the youth under her, to do well in school, to do well in life. She knows about how Paris has overcome her struggles, to deal with the loss of her father. So that's encouraging, So I encourage my Mau Mau babies to have role models like Prince Jackson, Prince Michael Jackson, and Biggie, the baby Prince, and Paris, Princess Paris. Jackson. Okay, so anyway, so I continue that legacy because you're not going to take it. You're not going to take it. Okay, you can't steal every fucking thing that belongs to, the root to my ancestors. No. I denounce it. Okay? So anyway, so they did that to Prince Rogers Nelson. Okay, in because he represented 1999 and he was Prince, right? Okay, so with 1979 and the potential threat to the pregnancy of they didn't want that pregnancy to survive. Okay, so the Gentile Christian barbarian Rothschild Khazar Vatican Zionist Jewish Israeli converts. Okay, so they had to make their mock prophecy of their own, right, with the birth of their bastard William. And I know many people are attached to that synagogue of Satan, and they may feel offense to, the manner in which I refer to them. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. Why? Because if you have the audacity to be offended, then you really don't give a fuck about what they're doing to African people globally, or what humanity globally, or the environment globally, or life in general. You don't give a fuck. So guess what? I don't give a fuck about you. And guess what? A holy woman talking like this, you goddamn fucking right. A holy woman talking about like this, because guess what? You don't talk to demons like, please, thank you, and yes, sir. No, you say, get the fuck out my face, bitch. Okay? That's what I say today, tomorrow, and every day. Get the fuck out my face, bitch. Yeah, William is a bastard. Elizabeth is a bitch. The Trump is a son of a bitch. And Rothschild is a bastard piece of shit. And Rockefeller was a bastard piece of shit that I'm glad Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took off this earth. Okay? To free humanity of that cursed Zionist bullshit. Okay? Somebody gotta speak the truth. Somebody gotta be real. Somebody gotta be strong. A lot of us gotta be strong. Okay? A lot of us gotta be stronger. Okay? And the Queen of Queens and the black woman, mashallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is strong. And that's what they don't like her either. But guess what? I don't give a fuck, bitches. Okay? I was born to call y'all bitches. Okay? And Allah will protect me. I have faith in Allah to protect me. Okay? And I've already prayed to Allah to protect me with every living entity on this earth. Okay? Every living entity on this earth. Pray to Allah to protect me with every living entity on this earth. So I have no fear of you pieces of shit. Allah will protect me, and I know Allah is real. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt Allah is real. So I know He'll protect me. Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. And I know you hate me saying Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to please you. I'm not here to please Zionist pieces of shit who are trying to destroy the world of humanity and all life itself. Did you think Allah was going to let you do that? Did you think Allah was going to let you destroy all humanity, all life? Why do you think He's sending the prophet born of a virgin back to stop this shit? Okay? So Prince, they had to kill Prince, right? Okay. Okay. So, as we said, and also, like 1980, okay, also like 1980, the making of the new celestial, also like 1990, also like 1980, and the marking of a new beginning of the celestial year, Lucky, right? Who played Lucky? Tupac, right? Tupac played Lucky, okay? It was a lucky year, okay? The Christian year 2000, it was the lucky 1400, because 14 is 77, right? The lucky 14 year 100, 1400 was like the year 2000, that marked the beginning of the Christian, the Gentile Christian barbarian year. Okay, so the year 1400 was like the year 2000. It marked a new year on the Christian calendar. Okay, so and the Rothschilds had to commemorate that as well. By what? The Vatican Rothschild had to mark that beginning with what? Because that was supposed to be what? The year that the Christ, that was supposed to be the year that Pluto, or not Pluto, but Neptune, or what is it, Pisces delivered its child, right? That was the year Pluto was to come out of Neptune, the orbital field of Neptune, right? So it was to be the birth of New Islam, right? So it had to be, so that was the year 1400. In 1980 was the new year 1400 on the Muslim calendar, right? Islamic calendar. Just like the year 2000 was the beginning of the new year on the Christian calendar, right? And so that marked the beginning of the as 1999 marked the end of the celestial pregnancy. The year 2000 marked the beginning of the pregnancy for on the Christian calendar, right? It marked the new millennium for the Christian on the Christian calendar, but it also for the Zionists it marked the beginning of their pregnancy or the Antichrist, and that was marked by what? 2001, with the world trades going down, as well as the conception of the Dajjal, right? Because Rothschild and his bride, unfortunately she got the name Linda. Linda was at a hotel in or at a I forget the name of the building, but I did the video before. I hope I can find it again. But anyway, they were there present in a hotel room, watching the world trade go down. So that's where the Baron Rothschild, Dajjal, was conceived, right? In that year, 2001, in front of the World Trade as they were going down. And in 2002, he was born, right? He was delivered. Okay, 2002. Okay. So the year 2000 marked the beginning of the new celestial millennium for the barbarian, for the Gentile Christian barbarian, Rothschild Khazar Vatican Zionist synagogue of Satan. Okay, it was their new millennium. Thus, it was time to begin the fulfillment of the Zionist prophecy with September 11, 2001, and the pregnancy and of, as I said, Baron Dajjal, Antichrist, Rothschild, okay, and his consequent delivery in 2002, right? The Baron Antichrist Dajjal Rothschild was conceived in 2011 and born in 2000, birthed in 2002, which is symbolic of Whitney Houston, mother and child, February, sacrifice 2002, right? So she was sacrificed February 11th, that's 2, February is 2, then 11, which is 2, which is 2000, and but in 2012, right? Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Now, okay. Now, so, the Baron Rothschild, the Dajjal, is symbolic of, his birth is symbolic of the delivery, is the Antichrist delivery of, which was supposed to be the imposter of the fake, for the fake black nobility, the fake Jews of, or the fake nation, Hebrew nation of Jackob, right? So that's what that was supposed to represent, right? And also be reflective of what the events of 1979 through 1991, right? So that was to cover that ground, that period, along with the marriage and the birth of Charles, and then the death of Diana and her child, right? In 1997, which commences with or commemorated with or coincide with Helba, right? The return of the Holy Father, right? Okay, so the celestial delivery was consequently to also reflect, and that's the delivery of the Baron Rothschild, was the Antichrist, Baron Rothschild, Antichrist, okay, the fake Christ, okay, was to be reflective of, consequently reflective of the death and sacrifice of, okay, of Michael Jackson, as he was to have been sacrificed in 2001. Okay, now, as we said, now Michael was invited to speak at the World Trade in 2001. So, as we said, now, if all these black people don't mean nothing, okay, and, and Islam don't mean nothing, then why are they doing so much to try and, align themselves with all this prophecy of the Muslims and the black, the Hebrew, Israelite nation of Jacob from Ethiopians, from the kingdom of Judah in Ethiopia, okay, from Ethiopia, that were enslaved around the world, right? So they're always trying to coincide with that timeline. Okay, now, so Michael Jackson, as we said, Michael Jackson represents the king of the King of Kings, which is the man of all men, representing the father of all men, right? Okay, the father of all men. Now, he was supposed to represent the king, as I said, the King of Kings of the nation of Jacob, okay, and he is a Jacobson, right? Joseph Jacobson, Joseph Jackson, Michael the angel, Joseph Jackson. That's what Michael is, Angel Joseph Jackson, Angel Joseph Jacob's son. Okay, now, so he was to be the biggest one of the biggest sacrifices, okay, in the World Trade, because he was invited to speak at the World Trade 2001. But alhamdulillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after speaking with his mother all night, he till late in the morning, early in the morning, he went to sleep, and his alarm clock didn't go off. So that's alhamdulillah, Allah saved him at that time, okay. But he was to be in the World Trade he was invited to be at the World Trade Center at the time of its collapsing, right? And the Twin Towers, as we said, represented Babel, right? Babylon 2. Okay, that's why it was constructed to look like 11, right? Okay, so Michael Jackson was invited to be there. That was another attempt on. That was another great attempt on his life, because they had been trying to sacrifice him on many occasions. Okay, that wasn't the first time. Okay. In fact, he even told his sister that they were trying to kill him. He wrote notes they were trying to kill him. He had contacted the FBI that they were trying to kill him. He had told his children, that he had been trying to prepare his children for, him perhaps not being with them one day in their, at one point in their lives. So it was very well known that they had been trying to kill him. And prior to killing him, they were trying to depose him by taking his crown, by, trying to use propaganda against him, malign him, persecute him in the courts, steal his money, enslave him, Zionist him, as he said, Jew him, do him, trying to sue him. They had been trying to just destroy, annihilate him, right? Because they knew he was an heir. He was the heir to the throne. Okay. Now, as we said, so the celestial delivery was consequently to be reflected in the death of Michael. So just like Anwar Sadat, okay, Anwar Sadat made the peace agreements. Then they killed him and sacrificed him in 1981, and then the consequent birth of William, Charles' son, the seed of the man, William, was born in 1982, just as it was to be. Michael was to be sacrificed in 2001, and the Baron de Jail was to be conceived in 2001. So we have that scenario that was to be played out again. Michael was to be invited and be to the Twin Towers. Twin Towers were staged, rigged with bombs to collapse, and the King of Kings was to be in that building at the same time, while Rothschild and his bride were in a building across the street watching them go down, and maybe possibly getting their freak on, their demonic freak on, to conceive the Baron Rothschild, the jail, okay, who was conceived in 2001 and delivered in 2002, right? And Michael was to be in that building and sacrificed. Therefore, Michael's life was to be sacrificed for the Dajjal, right? For the Baron, Antichrist Dajjal. Okay? Well, we're going to go to video 5. So